Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope that you are having a great one out there. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and stopping by. Today, we're going to take a look at Fish from Marillion, of course. We're going to take a look at his debut solo album. Not the first track, but we're going to listen to the track here. State of Mind is the track we'll be covering today off of his album Vigil in a Wilderness of Mirrors, released in 1990. We're listening to this track because it was suggested and sponsored by someone. There was no name attached to it. The email, I'm not going to say the whole email. I think it's a private one. KMD, but there was no name. But whoever you are, thank you for the recommendation. Thank you so much for the support as well. So, interesting from his solo debut album. This is released 1990. So, at this point, Marillion's been around, obviously, for quite a while. But I'm trying to see if I can find out around what time this album came out in relation to Marillion's career. I'm looking at the first paragraph here. He departed in 88. Although recordings for this album finished as early as 89, EMI Records decided to delay the release until 1990 to avoid collision with Marillion's album Season's End. However, the track State of Mind, which we're going to listen to, which features apparently Dire Straits guitarist Hal Linz and guest musician John Keeble on drums, was released as a single on as early in 1989. I cannot read. 3 months ahead of the album. Gotcha. Okay. So at least now I have a little context, at least as to where this was. And can I just say that this album cover looks very 80s action movie. It's just the first thing that came to my mind with the album cover itself. But let's go ahead and dive into the track. We'll discuss it a little bit after State of Mind. I already like the bass.
Trust the government, I don't trust alternatives. It's not that I'm paranoid, it's just that's the way it is. Every day I hear a little scream inside. Every day I find it's getting louder. I just want to reach out and touch someone, 'cause I find I need a friend in this dark hour. We the people are getting tired of your lies. We the people now believe that it's time. We're demanding our rights to the answers. We'll elect a president to a state of mind.
I love these strings being plucked here. God, that bass is so fantastic, though.
I trust in conspiracies, in the power of the military, in this wilderness of mirrors here. Not even my speech is free. Every day I hear a little scream inside. Every day I find it's getting louder. I just want to reach out and touch someone.
There's that Fish
'Cause I
voice.
find I need a friend in this dark hour. We the people want to strive for a change. 'Cause we the people are getting tired of your games. If you insult us with cheap propaganda, we'll elect a president to a state of mind.
The way it's plucked is just so nice. A little trill in the back.
Every day I hear a little scream inside. Every day I find
guitar and the way it's playing reminds me of like Peter Gabriel, and that reminds me of Peter Gabriel a little bit. I like that a lot. Especially it's cool to hear Fish in this kind of context. We did listen to a track from him recently on Long Song Saturday. But it's cool to hear him in this kind of context where like away from Merlion, away from the prog, like just, okay, what are you doing on your own solo material? I'm looking just at a glance at the track listing, and most of the tracks are relatively short, you know, as compared to like a progressive song or anything like that. And I like to hear like a solo artist, what they do on their own apart from the band. What do they, you know, you can kind of tell isolated what they bring to the band, but then on their own, separated from such, like what do they do? What do they accomplish? And here he achieves an absolutely wonderful sound. His singing is a lot more contemporary, leaving away some of those theatrics. We do get some interesting trills in the background at one point. His vocals, there's a few points where it does hit that higher range where this is going to sound silly, but I mean it with all due respect, in which when he gets to that higher range, you hear some of that fishiness. Like you get that unique characteristic from his voice that lends itself to those more theatrical days and like the progressive rock side and things like that. And it's cool to hear it in this context and sporadically sprinkled in the mix, not the mix itself. It's not the batter, it's the crust on top. And it tastes really, really wonderful. The bass, from the very beginning, I mentioned, like, it is just out of this world. Why is it out of this world? Because John Giblin's in here, for myself, most notably playing with Kate Bush. And Giblin, it brings it. It's wonderful to listen to. I love his sound. And it is nonetheless just as brilliant, ever flowing here. It's just magical. Alongside of the guitar work, which we did mention, one of the guitarists here would be Hal Linz, who, as we mentioned before, he's from Dire Straits, from late 1980, or I'm sorry, from 1980 until 84, alongside with Frank Usher, both of them handling guitars, and just an absolutely wonderful guitar sound as well, especially next to Giblin. Those moments where you really hear those strings plucked so elegantly and close to the microphone, like, are a really standout kind of intimate moment in the music there. You have some atmosphere built from the keys in the background, Mickey Simons on that end. And I like how that's just like this kind of setting the scene, setting the landscape for the rest of the players to kind of play on. Because the keys kind of stay more towards that subtle back, more so than coming up on anything. But Fish takes a really nice lead in here, telling the story. He sounds earnest, he sounds concerned, and I like what he brings into this particular track. Let's look at these lyrics, which are quite impactful. I don't trust the government. I don't trust alternatives. And I like how he gives reason. It's not that I'm paranoid. It's just that's the way it is. Every day I hear a little scream inside. Every day I find it's getting louder. I just want to reach out and touch someone because I find I need a friend in this dark hour. He needs someone to hold on to. We the people are getting tired of your lies. We the people now believe it's your time. We're demanding our rights. But which rights? I like this. Our rights to the answers. We elect a precedent to a state of mind. I really like those two lines right there specifically. The first was what I mentioned, like, what rights are we demanding? The rights to answers. And then we elect, obviously a play on words, president, but we elect a precedent to a state of mind. I trust in conspiracy and the power of the military. In this wilderness of mirrors here, not even my speech is free. Wilderness of mirrors. Wilderness, I think of someone lost in a wilderness, in a woods, in some sort of untamed land. And it's a wilderness of mirrors, so they're always reflecting. So you don't quite know what's true. It's like a hall of mirrors in a funny house. Is that what they're called? Funny house or fun house? I guess a funny house would be a comedy club. Not even my speech is free. Like, everything is, in a sense, restrained. Let's see. We the people want it straight for a change because we the people. Oh, and by the way, I don't remember which part or when exactly, but I think it was in this part when he says, I hear a little scream inside. You hear not a scream, but actually more of a soulful note that rings out, which I thought was interesting because he says scream, but in the background at that moment, you hear like a soulful little melody that comes out from someone singing. Probably Fish himself doing his overdubs there. If you insult us with cheap propaganda, we'll elect a precedent to a state of mind. When we, the people, have our backs to the wall, do we, the people, then assume control? Like, is that when we assume control? When it's too late to stop our own execution. When we're faced with the final solution, a call back, of course, to the Holocaust and such, you can't elect a dream revolution. When you've a bullet in the back of your mind, it's just a state of mind. I like this line as well because, bullet in the back of your mind, the picture in my head is a bullet to the back of the head, of course, execution, but it's back there. But he says to your mind, it's in a sense deeper than physical, right? It goes beyond that. It's a bullet to the back of your mind. Fear is the mind killer, but take away the Dune part. Like it's a killing of a mentality. It's the killing of perhaps of a movement and such, And I think the lyrics are really, really well written there, and he states his position quite nicely there. Let's see. Looking at this track, of course, was the debut single from Fish, released in '89. It was the first ever record Fish did outside of Marillion, outside of his '86 collaboration with Tony Banks. Interesting and shortcut to somewhere. Lyrically, it's a protest song. In terms of music, lyrics, and general mood, is perhaps the closest to the Marillion song Sugar Mice. We heard that one, of course. Let's see. Somewhat similar to Shock the Monkey and Intruder, I suppose, in some ways. Let's see. He co-wrote both tracks with keyboardist Mickey Simons, the dominant music composer, on his debut solo album. And you heard some other stuff in there as well that they mentioned. The cover was designed by Mark Wilkinson. Here's the cover for State of Mind. There you go. I didn't have a comment. That was the cover, including close-ups of the face of a couple. That also features on the back covers. Features. There you go. Any chart information? No chart information on this one, huh? I gotta say, I think it's hilarious. I just noticed this. You have the 4-minute and 12-second version. Then you got the 5-minute 48-section version, which is entitled The Presidential Mix. I think that is absolutely fantastic. Let me know what you guys thought of the track, of course, in the comments down below. I hope that you enjoyed this little exploration into a little Fish solo work. Thank you, whoever sponsored this request. I appreciate it. I apologize. Your name wasn't there, so I don't know exactly who to thank, but I know to thank you properly, so I appreciate it. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Come back tomorrow, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys.